Hey everyone, welcome to the Bible Belt Bros podcast. Andrew, chime in.
I just wanted you to keep going.
Okay.
I was going to see how long you could hold that note.
Longer than needs to be, for sure. Hey Andrew, we had received an email.
Oh, yes?
Yes, we did. And sometimes I receive the emails. I get a lot of requests to be on the show, and I'm like,
You're
guys, we can barely get our schedule to
Right.
work. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to try to force something, those kind of things. But I had an email, and I found you guys on Amazon Prime Music.
Wow.
Shout out Prime, not a sponsor.
Wow, that's an odd one for us to get, but okay.
Yeah, normally it's Apple or Spotify.
Right.
But we are everywhere you listen to podcasts. You can find us, Andrew. So just know that. Amazon is a thing. Anyway, normally, so I'm expecting a disgruntled thing, right? What did we say? I don't know.
That's
what
typically
did we
what
say?
it is. The comments are typically, you guys are so dumb.
You guys are idiots. It's not Satan
Right.
or whatever.
Oh, it's not Michael.
It's
Michael is not
Michael.
Satan.
It's not Satan.
Or as in Matthew 8 would say, why are you so dull?
Yeah. You guys aren't even funny. Why is this in the comedy section?
Right.
But no, Andrew, this was somebody who knows who we are. Not a stalker-ish situation.
Oh, man, I was hoping we had a stalker.
No, we don't have a stalker.
Dang it.
But if you want one, I'll post your address or whatever. No, this was an email from Carrie, and she knows us from high school. Junior high school stuff.
Ah, okay.
She was more friends with my sister, and anyways, was just talking about how she was just looking for a random podcast, and found us, and then you started complaining about First Baptist Aurora, and she just assumed it must be a different
Aurora, Colorado.
Aurora, Colorado, Aurora, wherever.
Illinois.
And then you started talking about Cassville, and she's like, wait, hold up. So...
Oh, so this was just the podcast a couple weeks ago.
I think it was the church hurt episode where, because we were talking about your dad and stuff more.
That's right. Yep.
And so she currently goes to First Baptist Aurora. So, I've never gone back.
Me
really.
neither.
And
right.
not that I have no church hurt against, you're the one that has the dad that got fired.
Right.
I had always thought one day maybe I'd go back to Aurora and be a youth pastor, but then I just never did. And then I never drive through Aurora because I've usually had to cut through Aurora to get to when I go see my grandparents or go to Galena or wherever to see my other family. But I never I'd always just kind of drive through and oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. But I just keep going, But
Which is funny because I go to Aurora quite often still because that's where my parents live.
Oh yeah, they still live there?
Well, they moved back. Yeah.
Oh well. Yep. All right, shout out
Aurora Hound Dogs.
I can't do it anyway. But I wanted to share with you, Andrew, because I would drive by this Carrie's house a lot. Basically,
So you actually know who Carrie is?
I do. I do know that family for sure. I used to ride bicycles before I had a vehicle, and they were a couple miles away, and so we'd ride bicycles together, a group of kids and stuff. And we rode the same school bus, so school bus buddies, basically.
Ah.
You have core memories.
Yes, 100%.
Growing up, there's a lot of core memories that you hold on to for some reason or another. They could be good things, bad things, random things. And for me, her family, I have a core memory with about, you just know how awkward I am. Right.
Oh, yeah.
At speaking in public, especially. And
everything. Yes. Yeah.
You would think, oh, wow, on this podcast, Dusty, you sound very
confident.
Your phrasings are very well spoken. Yes. There's a lot of editing that goes on.
Right. There's a lot of scripting, prompts, editing.
There's no scripting. I can't even do that part of it. I can't.
No, I do that part.
You do any kind of planning is on yours. Right. Yeah. But I have an issue where at our church, we've had 2 services for a while. And I remember leading worship and saying, hey guys, would you stand as we continue? And then everybody kind of looked at me and was like, what? And then in the mic, I'm saying this. Every thought in my head, I'm saying in the mic of, well, I guess this is the start of the second service, so I'm continuing to worship. You're just getting here. And I'm like, in my brain, as the song is starting, I'm like, shut up. What are you doing?
And so you got to let the band revamp.
Yeah. One time I finished a prayer with okay, bye. On Sunday morning. So the running joke is anytime that there's like hey, Dusty, do you want to lead the prayer team intro today? And I'm like, okay. I'm going in unscripted, baby. And
are you the reason the church now makes everybody use a script?
Well, there's a lot of people that use scripts, yes, and that's probably some of it because, it's like people who say, oh, we're just going to follow the Spirit, what the Spirit tells me. And a lot of times those people definitely aren't following in the Spirit because they're just rambling on. Right. They have no idea what they're trying to talk about. But so we try like, hey, we prayed about this. These are some things that we need to say. And, here's a guide for you. Core memory.
Yeah, back to the core memory.
Core memory that I have with Carrie, if you're listening, and your family. It was one of the days I was riding bikes with their sister or something, and I went to their house, and I guess need to back it up a little bit. They were like, I think they had a chicken farm or something like that, where on the bus every morning I would see her dad like out there working on the farm while they were running on the bus or whatever. And you can kind of see him walking back and forth through the chicken.
Same road you lived on?
No, it was like one down.
Okay.
I stopped driving on that road because I put a stop
towards
sign.
Our other friend's house?
Other way.
Oh, the other way. Okay.
Yeah, towards town.
Gotcha.
If we're trying to be so, if anybody knows who.
No, I'm trying to figure out in my head because I've driven all those roads, and so I was trying to figure out where Carrie would have lived.
Okay, if you were to go down, I can't remember the name of it. Go down by the liquor store, take a left. That's used to be where I would start driving home with my dad, but he would pull over at the liquor store. Not that he went in.
Were they on the corner?
No.
The house on the corner?
No.
Okay.
Stop guessing.
All right, anyways, go ahead. Your core memory.
No, they're my neighbors, not yours.
Yeah.
Core memory. Okay, so they're riding the school bus, and I see her dad working, already out in the chicken coop. Me being awkward, meeting her dad for the first time, I was like trying to come up with a conversation starter. Instead of being like a normal person, being like, hi, I'm Dusty, we go to school together, we ride bikes together, blah, blah, blah. I said, is all that you do all day is... Hi, I'm Dusty. Is all that you do all day is you go right around, like walk around in those chicken coops? And like, I think I was just trying to ask, like, what do you do as far as...
What does a chicken farmer do?
What does a chicken farmer do? Yeah.
Right.
Why can't I just ask it like that? But no, I have to be like, what do you do all day? Is that all that you do? Is just walk around and checking on the chickens? And so, like, apparently not knowing it, and I do this a lot, accidentally insult people. I remember talking to Carrie's sister like years later, and she's like, yeah, my dad still brings that up, and like maybe not an argument, but like a fun argument of my dad still brings that up of apparently all I do all day is just walk around in these chicken but
Good
yeah,
job.
that's my core memory, especially every time I would drive by that house, I'd be like, that's the core memory pops right up.
So that's also clearly a core memory of his as well.
Yes, I made quite the impression.
Yes, a lasting impression.
Hopefully, okay, if he's listening, I want you to know that I have high respect for farmers across America, and that I know that there's more to just walking around. I know that there's more to
this
that.
is your public apology to chicken farmers.
Yes, this is my public address to chicken farmers across America. You matter, okay? What you do matters. And what you're doing things that I'm not going to wake up that early to do. So.
All right, now, Dusty, I feel you should stop talking before you say something that you have to apologize for.
I keep talking. I know. Just shut up. Just say I'm sorry. Like, why can't I just say sorry?
All right, well, since we just had a blast from the past, I wanted to talk about a blast from the past. I was thinking the other day, whatever happened to those WWJD bracelets? Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, everyone wore those. Whether they're a Christian or not, it was WWJD. What would Jesus do? Yes. And then everybody was putting those Christian fish on their vehicle. Oh, yeah. And then you remember that Calvin kid who would pee on things? Well, then they Christianified Calvin. I think that's his name, Calvin.
And is that the start of Calvinism?
Maybe. Had him kneeling at the cross. There's just lots of different things. So I thought we'd talk about that. So
okay.
Whatever happened to WWJD? You must have the answer, right, Dusty?
Oh, I definitely have the answer. And what happened was that we all just now realized what Jesus would do, so we didn't have to keep asking the question.
So we got smarter.
We got smarter.
I don't feel that's it at all.
What would Jesus do in this situation? I already know. I've already asked myself that a million times. But guess what? It's not going to be what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to get mad.
Why did we? Because we were so, WWJD everything. Mm-hmm. Why didn't we pass that along to the next generation or to our children?
Well, I think over time it will pass along. A lot of these things end up coming back in style, okay?
Is this like bell bottoms where it's going to come back from 40 years?
Probably so, yeah. Okay. Bracelets kind of coming back already. We could jumpstart this thing and just make up our own What Would Jesus Do bracelets, and bing, bang, bong, we're famous again.
We're famous again? One, we were never famous, Dusty. Two, it would be WWJD is popular again.
I remember we did our own, because our pastor, Rusty, he likes to make things his own sometimes, come up with his own little sayings. And we had WAJD, walk as Jesus did. And so there's I think it's, it worked. 1 John, I think 2:6. Whoever claims to live in him must walk as Jesus did. I still remember that, and that was from
nice
freshman year. So
dang, all right.
But yeah, what would Jesus do? We already know. But maybe we should start asking ourselves again that question on the state of today's world.
Oh, absolutely.
There was also a saying, fully rely on God. Do you remember that one? The frog?
Yeah, frog.
Yeah. There was the big
T-shirts. Yes.
Yes, yeah. There was a lot of 4-letter sayings.
Acronyms. Or abbreviations. Yeah.
There we go. There was a lot of those that were very popular. Maybe it was a Christian's way of, don't say this 4-letter word, say this 4-letter acronym. Maybe that's what we were trying to do.
So when you stub your toe, you would say, WWJD.
What would Jesus do? He turned the other toe.
Or would he just heal it?
That's true.
I feel Jesus would he stubs his toe, I feel he's just going to heal it.
Yeah, you've heard the joke. Like, what did Jesus ever say when he stubbed his toe?
Right.
My me?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Oh, we're so dumb.
Yeah, we are.
So dumb.
And this is why we're in the Christian section, because we're not really ever serious.
Yeah, well, you meant the comedy section.
That's what I meant, the comedy section.
We're not serious. Not that we're funny. We're just not serious.
Yeah, we try to be serious, and it just sounds like we're being funny.
And we're stupid.
Right.
We're wrong.
No, we're dull, as Matthew 8
What
says.
about Jesus is my homeboy? Remember that guy? Oh,
man, I do. I remember that. I used to say that a lot. And then I also remember a pastor saying, Jesus is not your homeboy. Jesus is the savior of the world. And all, got really offended about it.
And what about, I have a friend in God.
Yeah.
I am a friend of God.
All right, we're going to get DMC strike.
Okay.
So.
That sounds pretty much exactly like the... Are there any other sayings?
Not that we have to worry about DMC strike, because, we're not sponsored.
My pastor Rusty also told me once that it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So
I live by that saying every day.
So we might as well just keep going for DMCA striking until it happens, and then it's like a rite of passage.
Passage. Mm-hmm. Yes. And then I also remember everyone wearing wooden cross necklaces.
Oh yeah.
Or the nails. That looks
yes.
That was in the shape of a cross. You guys can't see me, but I'm holding a cross on my chest as if it's my necklace.
He's holding his fingers in a cross form.
That's right. There we go. The nails that were twist tied together, essentially. What other things do you remember, Dusty?
I asked my pastor Rusty when he was my youth pastor to shave a cross in the back of my head. And he's not a hairstylist at all. So that cross ended up being a plus sign.
That's right.
So I ended up just being a positive dude around school.
Oh, is that why you're so positive?
I'm just so positive, guys.
See, you thought you were trying to represent Christ, but no, you just wanted everyone to know that you're a positive guy.
Yeah, but there was people that were shaving Jesus fish in the back of their head and the cross and stuff like that. And I tried to join that movement, but it did not.
No.
Did not pan out.
So speaking of the Jesus fish, last year my mom went through that fight with cancer, with breast cancer. Mm-hmm. And when she first got diagnosed, I actually had fish shaved in the back of my head. So the word fish. Mm-hmm. And that turned out really cool. Oh, plus the breast cancer ribbon. And then I dyed it pink. I don't know if you remember that, but yeah.
I don't remember
Man, dude, that's a year ago. And you can't even remember that.
I can remember the core memory of insulting this lady's father. But I can't remember.
My really awesome hair.
Do you ever get this way? Because I do sometimes. Your last name's Fish, right?
Right.
So whenever you have like a fish themed thing on the back of your head, does it feel weird? Like my last name's Hope.
Yep.
So like wearing stuff that says Hope sometimes can be cool. Sometimes it's like, this is just cheesy. It's not even what I want it to mean, but it's cheesy. Or like I sang a song at church one time. It's like, you keep hope alive.
Oh yeah.
You keep hope, or not like just jokingly, like, yeah, I'm keeping you alive, huh?
Yeah,
you know, God's keeping you alive. Huh?
Yeah. See, when I hear songs like that, I'm like, yep, Shay's keeping him alive. Because I call it, your name on video games is the One Hope. So I sometimes when we're playing together, shooters usually, I am keeping hope alive. So yeah. When I wear a fish or something like that, because my nickname is Fish, obviously my last name is not Fish, it's Fisher, and everybody in my family.
I guess I just call you Fish.
Yeah, everybody in my family, my brothers, my daughter, my wife, we all answer to Fish. But yeah, when I wear a fish, like I have Under Armour. It has a shirt that says Fish, and it's for their fishing line of gear. But I wear it because it's my nickname. Okay. Yeah, I think that's cool because my nickname is on above an Under Armour logo.
I mean, if you look around our house, there's Hope everywhere.
Everywhere, yes.
Like everywhere.
So, H's and Hope.
H's and Hopes. That's us. That's our name. See at the pole. Remember those?
Oof. And they still have those.
Yeah, they still do.
They're just not as popular as they were. I don't feel, because I don't hear about them. Like when we were in school, the church made a big deal about it and would show up and all this.
Yeah, like the whole church.
Yeah, the entire. Yeah, and now I'm not. I do think I heard about it this year, but I think this is the first year I've heard about it really since moving to Oklahoma.
Being in the youth pastor circle in Oklahoma back in 2003 to 2011, 12-ish, it was still pretty popular, but it was more like the after party. The night service on See at the Pole was the push. Like where when we were growing up, it was like, everybody get to the pole. We didn't have like a special see you after the pole.
Doesn't that kind of negates the whole purpose of See You at the Pole? The whole thing about See You at the Pole is you meet around the pole at your school campus.
I think what I really disliked about it became another production thing. See at the Pole when we were there was literally student led. Right. There was no like show. It was like, hey, we're all just gathered here. What are you doing? Oh, we're just gonna pray.
Right.
And now it's like any kind of church. Every church somewhere has somebody leading some songs. Like the praying is very limited at See at the Pole. It's very quick, but it's more of a production-y thing, and that's I think that's kind of where it lost its luster.
So I never thought about that, but I agree with you on that aspect.
Yeah, smart.
They did get kind of commercialized and turned into a production rather than what its intention was of just praying for your country, praying for your school, praying for your leaders.
And your peers being able to see you on your own with no prompting, with no expectation, no people, no pastor watching you or controlling you. Like that on your own, you're doing this. Right. And I think that has power that is lost when it's like, oh, your church is here doing See at the Pole. Right. Like that's different. Yeah. That is just different.
Yeah. At that time, it seems like you're required to be there to volunteer and to be an example, lead by example type thing, where previously, like when we did it, we led by example, but not by requirement.
You know what our church doesn't do is youth pastor or youth group logins.
Oh, those were fun.
Those were terrible as a youth pastor.
Dude, yeah, but as a student, those were fun. Because you have the whole church to yourself. And, dude, our church was scary. First Baptist Aurora was scary.
It was so good to play hide and go seek.
Yes, in the dark.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
And do you remember the boiler room?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That was so scary. That's where I would always go because people are too scared to go down there.
Carrie, another core memory is at First Baptist Church Aurora. The women's bathroom there was set up for like the bridal stuff too,
yes,
I think.
It was.
And so sometimes during the day after school, we just
go
chill in the girls' bathroom.
Yep.
Obviously, keep the door open. Don't let any girls in or whatever accidentally. But it'd be more like they had like a really nice couch in there. There's like that was like the best place to hang out.
Or go hide behind the stage in the cafeteria in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a nice spot back there too.
And it was always covered by the curtain things.
Mm-hmm. Hide and go seek, lock-ins. Those were, I mean, I think that's different because like that church was pretty large to somebody of my size.
Yes.
At the time, so it's just like our church now, we meet in like a shopping center. So
I mean,
there really
it's
isn't
large.
much to it.
It is large. You think about First Baptist Aurora, it was 2 stories, 2 floors.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you put those out, it would be, I would say it would equate to the size of our church, which is 1 story, because you have to think of how big our church actually is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, just set up differently.
I was told also the out of style thing that was very popular us growing up is having separate buildings for youth ministry.
Oh yeah.
Instead of like where we are, it's like one auditorium and we split it.
Right.
And like a lot of times the youth buildings would have like the really good sound systems and stuff like that because that's where all the youth budget would go.
Yep.
And then
and games like ping pong and pool.
Yeah, and then like you go to the Sunday service and they got like really crappy sound.
Yeah.
And what I've liked, like Life Church's model is this way, and our church technically is models this way too, is like now we don't have to buy all these different set of sound equipment. Like our budget is more focused on getting better quality,
right?
Because it's reaching out to more services at once, And so like even at First Baptist Aurora, our youth, we didn't have a youth building for a while. We had a second story building,
right,
or a room in the second story
upstairs,
where we had to have our own sound stuff. And then, but was a core memory, I guess, is we had the coffee house just like a block or 2 down the road from the church, and that became our youth building.
Yep.
And then we'd have like block parties where we were allowed to like
shut down the
whole road. Yep. We'd have outdoor concert events and stuff like that. Like that was like a true downtown like vibe, man. Every
dude, that
weekend.
Was small town.
Yeah,
small town America.
Small town's different.
There's no way we could get away with that here in Oklahoma. I mean, there's a church right around the corner from us that does essentially a block party every Halloween and does their own trunk or treat, but they still aren't allowed to shut down the road. And so you have the kids walking across the street, where in Aurora, we got permission to shut down the roads because it's small town.
Small town, everybody's closing at 5, so we were the only ones open anyway.
Right.
A lot of that kind of stuff. But just that whole like idea of having separate youth church and like all of that kind of has gone. There's some churches that still have it, but I think they've just been like Broadway down the road, like they have a separate youth building, but they've always had that building as the youth building.
Right. And I'd actually have to disagree with you on this one.
Well, you're disagreeing with Kyle. Kyle's the one that told me.
Okay, well, I'm disagreeing with you, Kyle, and I'll tell you to your face tonight.
Yeah, to your face.
But because you're right, there's Broadway, and then there's, I don't know what the churches in town are called, but there's the Stronghold, which goes to that other church down behind I don't know, but there's the Stronghold, which is another church youth building. Mm-hmm. There is the church I was just talking about that does the block party for Halloween. Their youth building is across the street from them in that field. When the First Methodist was in town, they had the building over by our church. They did their youth out of there. Mm-hmm. I feel we're probably one of the few that doesn't have a separate youth building. And I also think that we did look at we did attempt it, I think.
Did we?
Yes. And we've even recently thought about it. So, Kyle, you're wrong.
But then you're having a whole new budget set to like build this whole different building when you could then reinvest into your own. Like,
right. I get that. Yeah.
That's
Life
why
Church model.
I've liked the Life Church model. Like Life Church, they have like a ton of locations, right? But they're all doing like the same sermons and the same themes and all of that. And so when you print off T-shirts, for instance, you can mass produce those way cheaper than you can get 100 shirts here, 100 shirts here,
right.
All different designs. And so like that's what they've done is like now they can get T-shirts at $4 or $5 each and be able to sell those at cost. And everybody's wearing a Life Church T-shirt, you know, and they're all kind of the same. And maybe they print the different location stuff. Like the main print is the same, and they add a location print, and it's bam, easy. So things like that, their programs, all of those things that they print out, video production is all done through like one main location. And there's a lot of waste, you know, if you want to bring back tithe and stuff, there's a lot of waste that goes into like creating these mini environments
Way to bum this.
Way
to bum this nostalgia.
But I will say that core memory is the fact that we had the coffee house every Friday, Saturday night, and Wednesday nights, and that small town vibe is something that you would miss. That you just can't beat, man. Like you can't beat that small town just environment, and like we had hundreds of kids that would show up on a Wednesday night, due to that. And
so one of my core memories, I'm cutting you off here because you're just rambling at this point.
Yeah.
Going to the Christian concerts and actually doing mosh pits.
Surely those still exist. Surely those.
I don't know
exist.
because even
we're just old and don't go to that kind of music.
You're right,
anymore.
but even TFK, who we would mosh at, they put a stop to it. And Disciple, they put a stop to it. A lot of these Christian bands put a stop to that.
Well, it's because like it became so violent. Like moshing is stupid.
It is. Well, we enjoyed it when we were younger, but you're right. You're just bouncing around into each other, hitting each other for no reason.
Well, and it became like what the way we did it was the Christian way of doing it. The way that moshing has become is like fist fighting basically in the middle, and that's not fun.
Right.
And that's not like the environment. Like us just jumping around and kind of bumping in, scaling pillars and jumping off and crowd surfing. Like, yeah, those are fun memories. But one of the things that, definitely crowd surfed a lot and moshed a lot too was the VeggieTales theme songs.
Oh my goodness. VeggieTales and Bible Man.
Yeah. Oh, just the good programming. We missed that good programming.
Well, to us it was good. Was it good to our parents? Because have you gone back and watched any of that stuff?
I have. It's like
so cheesy.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, how did we like that?
Yeah.
I've tried getting the grandbabies to watch that, and even I turn it off.
Even you're like, I want to watch this. This will be fun, and they can just like it. Right. And then you're like, even if they like it, we're turning this off.
I'm like, this is awful now.
Bible Man, low budget, man. Come on. Yeah.
Which was back then. It seemed high budget. So.
Yeah. And then I think we've already talked about like the music. You'd always have like if you listen to Blink 182, you should listen to these guys. You like Beastie Boys, listen to these guys. But yeah, I mean, how many songs of Audio Adrenaline and DC Talk and Jars of Clay and all those bands, how many, they were pivotal when it comes to, core memories of 90s. Never mind. I'm not going to go there. I don't really know much about Christian music, the newer ones, but it's like, man, a lot of the stuff I don't hear as many like of these smaller bands anymore. Maybe it's just me in general.
Again, it's just us being out of that realm.
I'm just more of a old soul now, and I just listen to like the worship songs.
You do.
I'm gonna have to sing
No,
it.
you do, because our youth, they sing these songs.
Oh Lord,
they learn,
I need you now.
Right, and the church clap song and all these. So you are. True. You just know the popular.
I'm only into like whatever can translate into like a worship
night
or whatever. Because like the most of the playlist I listen to is the movement worship songs.
Right. Yeah. So you know that stuff, and even back then we knew you would know bands because of that stuff. You would just expand upon it back then. Mm-hmm. Now you just don't expand upon it.
And one last thing I remember is, did you ever have to do the burn your CDs party?
Yes-ish. Yes-ish.
Yeah.
So that was towards the very early start of my walk with God. And so I probably only, I do actually, yes. I had some CDs that I did not want to get rid of. They were so vulgar and so disgusting. But man, that was what I listened to at that time. And now that I think about it,
you got a burn party.
I did. We glued them and made the CD towers.
Oh yeah, your dad did gluing.
Yes,
when he was youth pastor. Before that, we would burn them.
Yeah,
burning is more fun.
I don't know. So I liked the tower because it was a physical representation of how many people changed their. Would change or turn in those CDs and Dad would give them new CDs, which I'm not sure if Rusty did that. But it was a 1-for-1 trade. You give me this CD, I'll give you this CD, type thing.
Yeah, that's nice.
So it was.
No, we just burned it, light it on fire, baby.
Nice.
I say that like I didn't really listen. I didn't listen to like a lot of secular music growing up, like maybe some Boyz II Men. But the only secular CD I had. Was a random, right? It was the only secular CD I had at the time when we did the burning was Dixie Chicks. So like Like I burned my Dixie, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm burning my like I was like, I don't even like what this is the only one I got.
Yeah, no, I had some.
I just want to participate.
No, I had some. It was a lot of bad rap back when rap was actually rap and not this mumble crap.
We sound so old.
It was.
Hopefully, we're hitting our demographic right now.
Carrie, are we hitting our demographic?
Yeah, you tell us. Somebody tell us. Maybe we are too old. We're starting to sound like old men on our front lawns yelling at traffic.
Or yelling at the kids walking across our grass.
Well, as you can tell in this episode, man, we didn't. Andrew didn't read Matthew like we asked. So
it's true.
Yeah. So maybe next time, Andrew will
see.
Join in on the conversation. But hopefully you enjoyed the walk down memory lane. If you've listened to Dixie Chicks and burned your CDs as well, let us know.
That's right. Nostalgia Highway, Memory Lane, however you want to call it.
That's what it's coming to, Andrew. Every time we get together now, it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
I was like talking about the good old days.
Remember back in the day
Back in the day before I had to take a shot for my back pain, you know. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, subscribing, commenting, and we'll see you next time.
Take it easy.